You can tell who you truly are by how you treat the person you secretly wish you could avoid. And that's the shocking truth at the heart of the Good Samaritan, especially when you compare it to the chaos, division, and emotional reactions that rise whenever a controversial leader steps into the spotlight. You're drawn to this tension because something in you knows that God uses uncomfortable contrasts to expose hidden motives, reveal spiritual blind spots, and test whether your love is just talk or a real reflection of Christ. When Jesus told the story in Luke 10, he wasn't trying to make you admire the Samaritan. He was warning you that your heart is always at risk of becoming like the priest or the Levite, people who knew Scripture, carried status, and looked spiritual on the outside, but walked past someone who was bleeding right in front of them. And the shocking part is that you can do the same thing whenever your emotions flare around a public figure, especially someone controversial. Because the moment you justify hatred, mockery, or coldness, you secretly expose that your love is still conditional, even though the command in Matthew 22:39 has never changed. You might not realize it, but God watches how you think about leaders you disagree with, because your reactions reveal what kind of disciple you are when no one is looking. This is where the Good Samaritan becomes a mirror, reminding you that compassion is not demonstrated when you comfort the easy people, but when you show mercy to the difficult ones, the misunderstood ones, even the ones whose choices disturb you. And here's a hidden insight most people miss. God sometimes allows a controversial leader to rise not to endorse them, but to test you, to see whether your faith is anchored in Him or in your ability to control outcomes. Because Romans 13:1 and Romans 8:28 collide in a mysterious way that forces you to confront whether you actually trust God's sovereignty or just say you do. Another warning sits beneath the surface. Your ability to forgive is directly connected to your spiritual maturity, and every time you refuse to release bitterness towards someone in power, God exposes that you're more influenced by outrage than by the Spirit who calls you to pray for those in authority. 1 Timothy 2:1-2, and to love even your enemies, Matthew 5:44. The Good Samaritan didn't stop because the victim deserved it. He stopped because the Samaritan carried a love that flowed from a deeper place, a place untouched by politics, tribalism, or ego. And that is the exact kind of love God is trying to build in you through the people you find hardest to deal with. And here's the most unsettling truth. The person God uses to reveal your spiritual maturity is rarely the person you admire. It's the person whose presence irritates you, challenges you, or forces you to confront your pride. And if you miss this, you miss the entire point of Jesus' parable. So if you want to walk in real kingdom love, the kind that exposes darkness and heals wounds, start by asking God to transform the way you see the people you criticize, the leaders you judge, and the individuals you distance yourself from. Because the Good Samaritan is not just a story. It's a divine challenge calling you to rise above your instincts, silence your ego, and embody the kind of forgiveness and compassion that proves you truly belong to Christ.
Who do you choose?